You want to watch this episode. If you want to listen to the answer, when is it credible for me to say world leading expert in, then fill in the blank. Hi, welcome to this episode of Dear Credibility Expert. John, thanks for this question. I particularly like it and am focused on thinking about it a little bit and seeing how I answer it, actually. So the question is it credible, or when is it credible for me to use the title World Leading Expert in, and then fill in the blank? Is that something that's credible or not? You know, it's a really beautiful question to think through, because the real answer to when is it credible to use it is, how do you prove it? How do you show it? How does it come across? Right? So the thing is, if you were recognized by an organization, so an organization that's known in its field, and they pick the top 10 or 20 or 30 or 50. There are people who do the top 50 lists of things, or top 20 lists. By the way, a great marketing technique is to find people in an industry and then figure out how to come up with what is the top 10, top 20 list, and then actually give them awards. All right, so clearly you can say world leading expert. The better way to say that is world leading expert as recognized by, right? So if you could show some form of incremental proof on what that is and how that makes sense. So when is it appropriate? When it's a truthful statement that is easy to back up. Easy to back up means something that is something like 10 seconds afterwards, not 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, right? So I'll give you my scenario and see what else pops out about this. So I transferred my title in 2019 to Global Credibility Expert. I was publishing books. We've now published over 750 books. So I was publishing books, and I switched the business model at the end of 2017 to a done-for-you model. I fine-tuned and built a writing school in 2018 and delivered on at least 10 authors. And in 2019, I felt the need to rebrand because I was doing something different in my publishing company. Went to a 2-day branding retreat, and that's the title I came up with. I felt comfortable having focused on and been a thought leader to thought leaders for 25 years in Silicon Valley. So I felt comfortable with the title. I didn't say I was the world leading. That didn't even come to mind or thought process at the time. And so the question is, at the time, I think global credibility experts is fine. How do I fine tune that? Well, I had having sat on the board of a NASDAQ firm, having created 4 CEO networking groups, and then filled in the blank. I got a bunch of other things I've done that sort of helps me feel comfortable with that title. It happened that 2 months later, I woke up with a Napoleon Hill moment that said, Napoleon Hill interviewed 500 millionaires to come up with Think and Grow Rich. If Mitchell Levy interviews 500 thought leaders on credibility, I'd have a book. Okay, so I got the book. International bestseller in 7 countries. I actually also, because of doing the research, I also did a TED Talk. The TED Talk is called "We Are Losing Our Humanity, and I'm Tired of Watching It Happen." And now what's really simple is I actually proposed a solution to us losing our humanity. And the solution is to actually deploy credibility, for us to be credible. If we are credible with each other, we will be more humane to each other. So I've come up with, after doing the research, an updated definition of credibility, and there are 10 skills associated with credibility that we need to learn. Now, what's interesting is, should I call myself the leading global credibility expert? I basically still am a global credibility expert. I now have a life mission, kind of cool, and that is to tip the scale between those in the world that are credible and those that the opposite of credible I call dubious. So to tip the scale between credible and dubious. what I see happening now that I've done the book and the TED Talk and I'm speaking at places and I've done so many podcasts, what happens when I'm on a podcast is when people introduce me, it starts off, hey, here's Mitchell Levy, a global credibility expert. And at the end of 20 minutes or 30 minutes, for those who say, and by the way, this was Mitchell Levy, and they almost inevitably go, the global credibility expert. And I don't actually say that that's the title. I don't have any proof that I'm the global credibility expert, other than I've not seen anyone do research the way I have. I will be updating the definition of credibility in the dictionary to be more robust, because it's a very narrow definition in the dictionary today. I've invented new words associated with credibility. So I feel very comfortable with the title Global Credibility Expert. So the question for you, whatever title you grab, where's the comfort level? Where's the thing you could point to that says, from an outside party or set of parties, this is what makes you the world-leading expert or a world-leading expert, or, and you kind of fill in the blank. There are many titles and many ways to approach titles. What I will say, and this is dubious, we're told when we go to branding school to fake it till you make it. And that is absolutely BS. The stupidest thing I've ever heard is to fake it till you make it. Because it has no integrity. It has no authenticity. You are lying to people. Flat out. Faking it till you make it is lying. I can't trust you if you lie, and why would I do business with you if you lie? So when you're thinking about a title, and we're also told, hey, come up with the best title you can, and then you could sort of work your way into it. No. Use a title that's appropriate for you. Allow people to see you, allow them to engage with you, and allow them to actually have benefits for you, and start getting endorsements. And the more endorsements you have, and the more people see you, and the more organizations that recognize you, the more reinforcement you have for the title you use. In summary, the title you use needs to reflect who you are and the skill set you have and who you bring, or what you bring to the world as recognized by others. So don't use a title that overstates who you are and what you do. Use a title that reflects who you are over time, right now, and then over time, as you grow, as you do more, as you expand, as more people recognize you, modify it. Hope you found this useful. Look forward to your comments and feedback. Take care. Bye now.